Hey y'all, it's Shannon. So I wanted to come at you with a review of some acrylic spray paints. Yes, I'm so excited. You should be excited too. So I've been using spray paint for a few months now, and I have really been digging it. Probably since I got my, my little intermixability set, and I've gotten some Liquitex since then, and then I have branched out and tried a few other brands, and I've tried a few other brands in the past. So I'm going to kind of talk about how I use them, how some other people use them, and then give you an example of an entirely like spray painted artwork piece that's not very good, but it's an example so that you get a general idea of some of the techniques that are available. So I'm going to go through the boards. So bam, I did 2 boards. I know, I'm proud of myself. So the reason I did that is because if you are a true like graffiti artist, or you want to get into graffiti art, which freaking fabulous by the way, you want to be able to use it on dark surfaces. See what I mean? See what I mean? Yes, so I wanted to give the 2 options. So I'm going to go through the whiteboard first just because you can see everything on it. So this is going to get confusing. I'm not going to lie, because there are 2 companies that make artist grade spray paint named Montana. So we have Montana, the Spanish company from Spain, Montana, the German company from Germany. So I'm going to call it Montana 94, which is the Spanish line, and then Montana Gold, which is the German line. Now, within these companies, they make other lines of spray paint. I went for the matte acrylic artist grade. So that was just my personal preference and what I had been looking at. I wanted to be able to compare them because they're all supposed to be matte artist acrylic grade. So my idea was to try and compare something that was kind of an apples to apples type of deal, even though the colors are clearly not the same. But just to give you a good idea, that's what was going through my mind. So from Montana 94, I have Anger Red, I have Turquoise, right, beautiful, and I have Lava Orange. Holy macaroni, I love this color. I really like the 2 Montanas, just color ranges. Montana Gold, Cherry Blossom, Green Apple, and then Blood Orange. I know, it's so pretty, I can't help it. From Liquitex, I have Cad Yellow Light Hue, Cad Red Medium Hue, Cad Yellow Medium Hue, Phthalo Blue, the green shade, Phthalo Green, the blue shade, Phthalo Blue 5, the red shade, and then Quinacridone Crimson. Now, I will tell you, I wrote a little note. This is supposed to be a transparent color, and the way you tell that with Liquitex is the cap is kind of, they have color-coded caps on them, or color-coded on, it's not on the cap, but it's on the lid of the rim. I don't know. I'm not doing a good description of that. Hold on just a second. I'll go get the thing, and then I'll be able to explain it easier. So this little lid here is shiny, which indicates it's transparent. So just FYI for Liquitex, that's how they indicate transparent ones. But they're all color-coded. This is the Montana Gold spray paint bottle. And this is Montana 94. So pretty. So pretty. And they all have the little color indicators on their cap, which is really cool. And yeah, so I will say, clearly I got a fingerprint right there when it was wet. But you're going to have to forgive me because I did get splatter on this because I've kind of been painting other paintings too. So I just wanted to let you know this is a transparent shade. This one was a little bit of pain in the tuchus to get it going, and I shook them all because, God, that's the other thing. Some of them recommend you shake them for like 2 minutes before you start. I'm like, really? Really? I will say I'm like, if you've got like more than 2 cans of spray paint, do you really want to be shaking it for like 2 minutes? I will say I think that's recommended on all of these, but these 2, it took a lot less time to get them going. Like I could shake them pretty vigorously for probably 30 seconds to a minute and they would go really well. This one kind of gave me a pain, and I had to shake it a little longer. That's why it's got that weird ring. But this one also is a lot more transparent than the others, and it's not indicated to be a transparent color, so just kind of FYI. I will say that performance-wise, they're all pretty matte. These 2 colors, both the Cherry Blossom and the Anger Red from the 2 Montanas, have a slight sheen to them, but overall I would say they're like a satin matte. Everything else is definitely like flat, flat, flat though. So just kind of FYI, so you know, it really doesn't make a difference to me. It doesn't matter, but if it matters to you, just so you know. Then we have the blackboard, which is a huge difference. You can clearly see these are very opaque, very much showing up, but these are originally, like, these two companies make graffiti art products. So, I mean, they make it to show up on any surface, to, like, stick to it. It's going to be there. So I think that makes a difference with the Montana 94 and Montana Gold. Liquitex is definitely more of a fine art company geared towards that. So what is this? Phthalo blue, the green shade, and then phthalo green, the blue shade. This one shows up pretty well, but these two, like, you can't even really see it. Maybe if I shake it a little, you can get a hint of it. But, you know, they're not really noticeable, especially not in this light. So that's something to think about and just make note of. But I do think these are still, and it doesn't come across really well on this camera, but these are still a lot more transparent to me than these colors are. And like I said, I know I don't have the greatest camera, so you're just going to have to kind of take my word for it. But I really do like the Liquitex spray paint. I think it's very good, but I don't think it's, if you're really wanting to do big murals and stuff, I don't necessarily think it's up to the quality level that these two are. I'm sorry, Liquitex. You know I love you, but on this one, and I'll still continue to use Liquitex just because I like the colors, but it's, you know, I don't do a lot of dark canvases with spray paint personally, so it's not a big deal for me, but for some people it's a big deal when they do it on a big brick building that has really, really dark brick. So, you know, if you're paid to do a mural on the side of a building, you want it to look nice, so just kind of FYI. So I would say, if I had to pick one, I don't want to pick one. If I had to pick, I would probably choose Montana 94 or Montana Gold. Montana Gold has, they both have both Montanas have an extremely good range of color. I really, really like them. They have some unique colors. There's not, like, these two look similar, but the Cherry Blossom leans a little more purple. This one definitely leans a little more browny, I guess, brown colored red, but they're beautiful and they have an amazing color shade range. They are, my understanding is, permanent and light fast to some extent. I don't know how much they would be. I mean, especially if you're doing a mural outside, it's probably going to get covered up eventually anyways, or graffiti and stuff, but it's beautiful. Price wise, I will say Liquitex is the most expensive unless you catch it on a super sale like I do. I mean, I have a local place that carries it, so for me it's a convenience factor too. Montana Gold was $7.75 at Blick, and then I think this was $6.99 or $7.99 at Blick. I can't remember, but coupons do apply to this one. They don't apply to this one. And there's an entire range of caps for all three of these companies that do very different things. And I will do a review on the different kinds of caps and stuff, but I just can't squeeze that all into this review video. It's just too much to get in here. So I thought I would just do a strict review of the paints themselves. So I will say though that these are just super opaque. I really like these. And like even here I can sort of see through the white a little bit, but I mean the coverage level on these is phenomenal. So with that in mind, I attempted to do a spray paint only type of deal. And I've never done that before because what I generally use spray paint for is to just lay in background colors. And it's not even necessarily that it's going to be there at the end of the day, usually a little speaking through, but it's more to get rid of that white and just to give me some inspiration to just look at and be like, you want to be like rocks or whatever. You want to be a landscape. You want to be the ocean. So something along those lines. I know that's not the way everyone works, but it helps me sometimes to do that when I feel very stuck in a rut. So that's kind of how I like to use it. I tried to incorporate some techniques that I have seen other like spray paint artists use on YouTube, and there's one, I think his name is Porfirio Jimmy. I'm probably saying it wrong, so I apologize. But he does some really cool spray paint art. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there. I just can't think of their names off the top of my head. I just happened to be watching a video of his like the other day, so it's stuck in there. But I hate that I don't have a lot of natural light because I don't think this really comes across as cool as it looks. And this is definitely not my best painting ever, even remotely, no. But this was an experiment basically for me to play with the spray paints and use them all together. And I will say, a lot of times what I've seen people do is what's kind of like a sgraffito type of effect. And I'm not sure if you can see it, where you layer lots and lots of paint and then you go in and you scrape out your shape. And it looks, see how I love how this kind of bled a little bit, and then I was able to scrape out the flower shape. I really enjoyed it. And then I also used I wanted to try using it with some actual like acrylic medium, so I used like some texture paste, some modeling paste, and I used like a sand texture gel, not gel but medium. And I really like how they kind of turned out, and I scraped around them to kind of give them the shape. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I mean, like I said, it's an experiment. It's just a first time doodle, so to speak. But I really I've been enjoying how these turn out, and it gives me some inspiration to do some other things and try. So I thought it was a lot of fun to really do. And I would say if you get the opportunity, go out, buy yourself some spray paint, play with it, see what happens. It's really cool. And there's lots of great techniques you can learn online on YouTube, lots of great like spray paint artist teachers. And if you're into more of the like giant, big murals type of things, there's some folks that do stuff like that too. And some of the stuff they do is just really amazing. Really amazing and beautiful work. Wow. I have nothing but respect for them. So I hope you enjoy this. If you do spray paint and have some other brands that you like, let me know in the comments section below. I know I've heard of plutonium. I'd like to try some plutonium because that just seems like a really great brand. It's just quite pricey even compared to Liquitex and some of them. So I have really held off on buying it, but I'm sure at some point I will. I just want to get through some of these cans before I even consider buying more. So I'm really enjoying my spray paint a lot. Like I said, it's great just to lay in a background when you're tired of staring at that white color. Like honestly, it's really helpful. Sometimes you just need to not stare at the white color, but you know, I really like it. And you know, sometimes the colors just kind of get your mind going and think of the possibilities. So I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please do me a huge favor, like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later. I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.